say Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Yeah.
Like what you only know Windows, but you get a Mac. I never mess with a Mac because it's just completely different. But you can be like, hey, I used to do this in Windows. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then you just talk to your computer like, oh, I know how to do that, and then it does it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even just people with, I mean, I was going to say this, but like with no arms, right? which sounds kind of messed up, but it's like they can't do anything on their computer, right? Or a person with one arm, like they'll be able to just talk and be way more efficient and be efficient just like anyone else. Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a new open source tool called Open Interpreter. Please like and subscribe so you can follow us along, as well as look at our socials using the link below if you want to add us on any socials or follow our podcast on any other platform. So let's jump into it. So I'll start. I talked about this on another podcast a couple of times ago where I was saying I was making that function call tool where I was trying to have my computer automated, and this was actually the tool that was done. They came out with some new releases. I think this was in December that I was trying to do it. But essentially what the cool thing about it is you can have it control your computer. So it's paired with an AI, and you can talk to like your chat GPT, and let's say you're away from home, you're downstairs, you're talking on your phone, and you're like, hey, ChatGPT, go grab this folder or this file on my computer and send it to John, right? And it can then connect to your computer, do whatever it wants on your computer, and actually do it, which is a little different than something like, hey, ChatGPT, look at my email and go do something else online on the, in the cloud, right? Like this is actually stuff on your computer, systems and programs installed on your computer. It could be like, hey, open up Photoshop on my computer and make this, and it can actually do it, right? So really, it's just the idea of it is it will open up so many applications, and that's the whole thing with this company is it's trying to come up with a new way of doing things. Like instead of having like Windows or Mac, it's going to be an open source kind of thing where you can talk to your computer and your computer can do things on its own, which I mean, just the concept alone is crazy, and it comes up and you can think of a whole bunch of applications.
I'm really excited about both the things. It being open source, so anyone can develop things on it. Secondly, I think it has been like the first time where a human is just able to talk to their own laptop in their house and get it to do things. We can currently do things via keyboard and mouse, but now you can just say things as commands and the computer can understand it and execute on your behalf. That just increases the possibilities of humans like any time I've ever seen.
And I mean, even I'm just thinking of just the different capabilities. So like the multilingual thing, right? Like being in one language, talking in another, and then being able to control a computer from somewhere else, in the U.S. that's all in the U.S., like all English or something, right? This is a kind of a messed up example.
In the example, right? Like computers themselves, they have multiple languages. But you need to speak in one. And it's computer's job to identify which ones you're talking about, how to interpret it and execute it. That's fantastic.
Or even just like you're saying multi-language, like let's say Windows, Mac, and Linux. Like what you only know Windows, but you get a Mac. I never mess with a Mac because it's just completely different. But you can be like, hey, I used to do this in Windows. This is what I want to do. And then you just talk to your computer like, oh, I know how to do that. And then it does it, right? Like, I mean, even just people with, I mean, I was going to say this, but like with no arms, right? which sounds kind of messed up, but it's like they can't do anything on their computer, right? Or a person with one arm, like they'll be able to just talk and be way more efficient and be efficient just like anyone else. So, I mean, there's just so many different things.
Just think about the implications of people who, there is quite a lot of people in the world who don't even know how to use computers. They know how to speak. They know what they want. Just with two of those things, they can actually make the computer do it and see how it happens. So it's a learning tool too.
Oh, for sure. And that was my mom, and she's older. I mean, she's almost 60, but I'm always like making fun of her because she doesn't know how to do anything. She calls me over and I showed her how to use ChatGPT. I'm like, go ask ChatGPT first before you call me, all right? And like in this situation, it's like ChatGPT on her computer where her ChatGPT can do it. So it's not necessarily like, all right, this is what you do. Do these steps. The ChatGPT is like, we can do these steps. Do you approve? Yep. And then does it for it, right? It installs programs, do different things. So it's great. So let's actually show a video. We got the video up, so we'll just show the quick demo of this so you guys can get an idea. And I think after that, you'll be like, oh man, like this is crazy. And then we'll kind of brainstorm some different ideas.
Okay.
When's the next sunny day?
1 moment.
So he's talking to his computer from a park, right? And his computer's doing
The next sunny day is on March 9th.
Great. Am I doing anything on that day?
Let me check your calendar.
And the key thing here is this is not like asking Siri or something
have
like
no events
this is
scheduled for
on
March
his
9th.
local computer at home.
So,
doing
because
this.
the O1 is operating my personal computer at home, I didn't need to set up my calendar. It can just use it. Nice. Can you see if there are any concerts in Seattle on that day?
It can do Google
Yes, you
searches
have
too.
several options. Option 1, Bad Bunny will be performing at the Climate Pledge Arena.
That's perfect. Can you add that to my calendar and then copy and paste the link to the ticket into the calendar event? And then, actually, if you could text Paige the link and say something like, hey, do you want to go to this?
I'm just amazed, like if you can see in your screen,
because
laptop doing it on thing.
Done.
That's amazing.
The concert is on your calendar and Paige has been texted.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome. By the way, you've just received an email from Mike
Tech
asking
support?
about your
Tech
progress
support's
on an
gone.
article.
Yeah,
Would you like to
This is
respond
tech
to it
support.
now?
this is tech support. Yeah.
So, I need to send that file to Mike, but it's on my computer at home. Hey, that article should be on my desktop. It's called the Universal Interface.
There's a file titled the Universal Interface.pdf on your desktop. Do you want me to send it to Mike?
Now, at this point, I could ask my Lite to read or even edit that document, but I'm just going to send it to Mike. Yes, please send it.
It's like there's a person sitting on your
The
laptop
document
and you
has
can
been
talk to them.
emailed to Mike.
Great. So you can kind of think of the O1 Lite as like a smart person that's in front of your computer.
Smarter than you
How could that be
think.
useful? Let's head back now and I'll show you something even bigger.
So yeah, like you said, that is exactly it. It's a smart person sitting at home. You're like, hey, babe, go do this on my computer.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a little voice thing, but it's smarter than babe. Right?
Yeah, I know. I can definitely think of like when I'm driving. Actually, I want to see like what's the a restaurant near me which is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I often have to like look at my phone and which is like not secured. That's so risky, right?
Another thing that we didn't show in the video, but you can train it on actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can give it instructions. So like let's say, like I think the example they used, which is like how to write a Slack message. So what it did is pretty much it was like, all right, look at what I'm doing and see what I'm doing. They clicked on Slack, the Slack popped up, and the whole thing is it takes continuously pictures or screenshots of your screen so it sees what you're doing. So it clicks the Slack icon, pops up. Then it says, and then he's like, all right, whenever this pops up, you go look for this person using this code or whatever the name is, right? And then a name. And then it's like, all right, over here, there's this little box, and then this is where you paste the text that I tell you to into this box, and then you push this button. And then save this as send a Slack message action. And then so that's something that it's learned and now we can do, and it just follows the process looking at what he did. Could be another thing of like, I know, even I was thinking like Photoshop or editing, right? It could be like grab this picture from here, resize it using this program, save it here, and then move it over here, right? Like you can teach it how to do these things. So it's like it's AI automation, but it's AI automation on your computer within programs in your environment. So it just takes AI automation to a new level that's not at.
Yeah. No, I agree with it. And exactly like going from that point, right? I can see people who are not used to technology very seamlessly using this. And I think everyone, when they want to get something done, they know what the steps are. It is just about what are the tools you need to use to get it done.
Yeah.
And in this way, you just need to tell them what you want done.
Yeah.
The plan of action is actually thought of by Open Interpreter or AI.
Yeah. And so just to kind of give you an example of like, so like I'm not I'm techie compared to other people, but I'm not like one of those like I know tech, right? And so when I'm doing a lot of things now, I'm using the AI, ChatGPT, to tell me how to do it. Like the whole like command line and stuff. I never messed with that stuff before. Now I kind of know how to do it, but it's like before, like now I'm like, all right, how do I do this? And then it tells me like steps, like do this, and this. Open up your command line, paste this code, do this. And so I'm just looking, reading it, and following these instructions. And the AI is great at that, right?
Yeah.
But now with Open Interpreter, it takes it to the new level. It's like I no longer have to copy and paste and read the directions.
Yeah.
I can just say, that looks good, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
And then it does it. And that's the difference. It just takes it to a new level of I no longer like it's super cool being able like I think it's amazing. Like I've learned so much since last year just by using the AI and learning and doing these things. Like even I know you work in Amazon, but I like the AWS EC2 free servers, like the free. I just was like, hey, how do I put this app on a server? I didn't know nothing about servers. I know nothing about that. And I just said, all right, do this, open up this account, do this. And I just followed. It took me a few hours, but I got it on there, right? And that, to me, that's amazing. I wouldn't be able to do that a year or two ago watching YouTube.
You might just need to have a certification to even do that.
Right? But like to me, that is amazing that I can, or a person that never done that, do that in a couple hours, right? But now it's like, I don't have to do that. It's just like, it just takes to the next level. It's like these 20, 30 steps I told you to do. Can I do it for you? I'm like, yeah, do it for you.
Not?
Like, you know, and you just sit there watching it do it, and you can walk away, get some coffee, come back. And the thing is, it's smart. It's if it gets an error, it will research, it'll open up a web browser, kind of like Debit, figure out the error and go back. So the tool that I was saying I tried to build before, where I was comparing it to Devin, which is this, and it's the same technology that's kind of under it's not the same, like it's open source, so probably they're making their own thing, but it's the same concept. Is being the AI is being able to do these things now, not tell you how to do it. They're actually be able to do it on their own.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you're techie enough, but I'm also thinking about people who are not at all technical, right? They can use computer easily. Now they can for example, like the Amazon EC2 instance, right? Somebody who has never coded in their life, have no software engineering background, can still do it because they just need to ask Open Interpreter to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it.
It could be a stupid thing where it's just like, I know there's internet. I need to put this thing on the internet. How do I do it?
How do I do it? Yeah.
They don't know nothing about servers or EC2, and they'll be like, well, this thing is called this, and this is called the, and then do it. And just like this 80-year-old person just made a web app, you know?
No, the possibilities of it, because I believe a lot of people have ideas. It's about the execution, right? But if you automate the execution, just think about ideas then becomes the most important thing. And the ideas can come from a 10-year-old, 80-year-old. That the possibilities is just mind-blowing.
This season is brought to you by Visual Intelligence, your dedicated team and partner for data strategy, innovation, AI, and data analytics solutions. As a special thanks to our listeners, Visual Intelligence is offering a free exclusive AI tool every season. This season, it's the Google Trends AI Data Analytics Assistant. This tool offers actionable intelligence on market trends and consumers' interests using Google search data. It's our way of helping you leverage AI without the need of a big data team. Use the link below and enter your email in order to get access to the tool. Also, you can visit us at visualintelligence.com if you need any assistance in anything data, AI, or data analytics related. So Open Interpreter is the open source code used to do all of this stuff we're talking about, but they're actually selling a product called O1 Lite, which is that little, looks like a little mini Alexa looking thing, right? Where you can talk to your computer, which you talk on the device, and then it talks to your computer, and then the computer using the Open Interpreter code to do it. And they're pre-selling these, I think like $100 US, and I think it's already sold out. But it's pretty much a little device where I don't really see the point of it, because it's like they're probably going to have an app. Well, they'll probably have an app, right? It's like they're going to use your phone. Like, why have this little device? But I mean, the key thing is you're able to talk to your computer from wherever you are.
From wherever you are. And I think I would want to go a little bit in the history of it to help me understand like how the value of it is created. Is you start with interacting with your machines like 60 years ago.
Yeah.
That was punch cards through one and zeros. Then secondly, you moved on to like low level languages where you need to like long lines of code to just get like a mathematic operation done. Then moved on to high level language. Then came Chat GPT, and now this, right? You can talk to your computer anywhere in English and they will execute the job on your behalf. I think the value creation is part where you can talk to your local machine and get things done even on cloud if you want.
Yeah.
And that is the breakthrough. And I believe a lot of people who may not have, I would say, tech knowledge would be very interested in this kind of machine where they want to be anywhere because the brain is in the laptop, right? O1 Lite is just one way to communicate to your laptop as a voice command and then get a response back.
Yeah.
And the brain is with the laptop, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
And I believe they are doing something fantastic because they have built an operating system on top of whatever is there, like Mac, OS, doesn't matter. Just install it and it can start working for you.
Yeah.
And that really empowers a lot of people who have laptops, and I think majority of the people in the world, they have it.
Yeah. And it's all, like you said, it's open source. So just so everybody, open source means it's free. Everyone can use it. Anyone can develop it.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it. I was showing him earlier before he came in. And you can use any AI model. It doesn't. You don't have to use a specific. You use Gemini from Google. You can use Claude and Anthropic. You can use OpenAI.
Yeah.
So you use any model, any operating. So it's just giving everyone the technology to be able to build on top of it. And so there's going to be people using this stuff to do crazy things we're not even thinking of, right?
Yes.
Like even just we were talking about this before, the whole like Iron Man thing where it's like you got glasses, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is you don't need a keyboard, you don't need a mouse.
Yeah.
You just tell it what you want to do in whatever dumb terms you want, and it translates that into smart coding terms, right?
Yes.
So you can just have a huge screen on your wall, and that's your computer, and you're just talking and be like, hey, go do this, talk, did you say what you want to write this email to this, all right, pull up Photoshop, make a picture of this, like, and you don't need a keyboard or mouse anymore. You're just talking. Even take it to the next level of like the glasses, right? Like the Meta glasses and all that.
Yeah.
You're just talking to your glasses, right?
Yeah.
Or with eye contacts or something, right? Like you're like, it's just like it's just those domino effects where it's just like you can see all the technology just moving into these directions where we saw in like sci-fi, and we're like, the technology's here, like it's coming, like all that stuff. We were like, man, that's crazy, like you know what I mean, like in the movies and stuff. And you're like, the Iron Man thing, like it's crazy. Like I just built one very similar to it, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to get OpenTerpreter into it, so it's just like all the stuff is there. It's just a little messy, a little like it buggy, but it's there.
Yeah. I mean, the one that you're talking about, like Jarvis, right, from Iron Man. When we saw that in the movies, like 10 years ago, we were like, oh, this is like way far in the future. Not anymore. Yeah. It is happening right now. Yeah. And that is just fantastic. And it is just about how this evolved. I think this technology just came in a few weeks ago, right? So
the OpenTerpreter's been open, like they've been around until maybe November, but the Lite thing just came out. So this is like the product just came out. So
and like, if this is here now, I'm just wondering what's going to happen in a year or two. Yeah. Because you will definitely, as you mentioned, like Google Glasses can collaborate with them, and you just wear your glasses and you can actually get your computer processing power in your glasses. Yeah. And that's it. Chips are getting smaller, so you don't have to have a whole machine going on. Yeah. And right on your face, right in front of your eyes, you can see things happening. Yeah. Like your LinkedIn is open, your particular contact is being reached out, this is what the message has been sent. You're like, yeah, just send it. Cool. And then you just go by doing your work.
Yeah, you're just watching your computer. It's like, yep, it looks right to me.
Looks right to me.
It's amazing. And like even like you were saying, the Jarvis thing, like I said, the one I showed you earlier, it was very similar, right? Yeah. And then even with the the cloning of, like, I was been playing around with cloning voices and stuff. Like, I told my brother, like, hey, send me a audio message 2 to 3 minutes, and then, like, I cloned his voice saying, like, oh, you're the best little brother ever, like, and he was like, I was like, does that sound like you? He's like, 100%, like, you know. And then there's even the face, like, HeyGen is a software where you can record, you know, yourself looking at the camera, and it clones your body, and you can make, like, YouTube videos on it. So you can clone your voice, clone your body. It's good enough to do, like, shorts, like a minute, with some, like, B-roll, but, like, long form people will tell. But there's, like, I've seen tests where, like, you can't tell as long as under a minute, right? So it's just like the holograms, like, they're all right there, you know. And at one point I wanted to talk about the open interpreter thing is it's all open source. So like I said, everyone can use it, and everyone can build things on it. And with that, it's going to allow, like, innovation times 100, right? Like, the whole thing is this is all dominoing.
Yes,
you know,
it's a GitHub repository, so just anyone can download it. It's open source, so just go ahead, download, do whatever you want with it.
That's wild. So what, you got any other ideas you can think of doing this? What about for, like, executives? Like, I mean, for me, like, I actually was trying to do this was make it a virtual assistant, right? And have it be able to do these things. So like with my Jarvis, I call him Vector. I'm connecting him to Zapier so he can do everything in the cloud, right? Because Zapier's connected with all these different things. I'm like, hey, send an email, you know, go on LinkedIn, do this, and everything online it can do. But with Open Interpreter, it can also do the stuff on my computer, which brings another layer to it. So I can see executives using this as their virtual assistant, essentially, which they can do on their computer. But, like, with a product like this, they can do away from their computer, right?
And I think I would say, for executives, right, like, there are two things in their mind mostly. What is the next big thing for their company? And then how to make sure their team is working to the best of their abilities, right? Coming to the first one, identifying the next big thing is about trying and testing many things, right? So when you want to try and test, you want to understand and learn about a lot more things. And then you narrow yourself down, like, okay, this is where I choose to invest. You have your team do that, you can yourself do it. But how the open interpreter or an AI agent like this can help is 10x my searches, 10x summarizing them, 10x like brainstorming. So I can now test 10 ideas in a day versus one, thereby making myself efficient. So that is on the growth side of it. On the team efficiency side of it, right? I think I definitely want to employ my team with these tools because I want to make them efficient in whatever they're doing. Because as you mentioned, right, one of the example was like, hey, can you look into this PDF document? Can you help me summarize it? And what are the main things that comes out of it? And can you use that to send an email to somebody and then get the feedback, right? And I think in the current Owen Lite, you can also see that happening. And this happens through voice commands, right? So I don't need to explain somebody. I know what I want and I'll just say it and it will happen. Before I would have to reach out to somebody, get some things done, or even type it myself, think about what am I typing, who am I sending to, what am I sending. All those things, those I would say brainstorming ideas are currently being done by OpenAI itself. And that makes me really, I would say, bullish about the future in terms of executives need to get on board with this ASAP and start using it in their daily life.
And one thing I was trying to think of earlier was, so to use Open Interpreter, you have to connect it to an AI, right? Like OpenAI, ChatGPT is owned by OpenAI, so people know that. Google, Gemini, etc. Right? But this also works with open source, which is free. Large language models. And I read earlier that they actually come up. So the whole thing with the Open Interpreter that makes it very valuable is it can see your screen, right? And the technology behind that is pretty much it takes pictures of your screen, sends it to the AI. The AI tells you what to do, comes back, writes code, and it does that continuously. Currently, the picture the images for the AI costs a lot. The vision costs a lot. So like when I was trying this months ago, it's not really practical because it's going to cost so much to be sending images back to the AI and not. But they came out with an open source vision that you can download it for free. I mean, you can't like use it on your computer because it takes a lot of hard drive and RAM and all that. But it's free, and it takes a picture of your screen, tells your mouse to move this way, takes a picture, like brings it back to the AI. The AI goes back. So like now there's not even a cost barrier to be able to use this stuff, right? And honestly, like I haven't even wrapped my head around the real applications of what this could be like. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's just so like it's almost like trying to like figure out what can a computer do, right? Like it's like there's a million things a computer do. Like there's so many use cases, and this is almost on that level where there's so many use cases you can't even wrap your head around it. Like the main ones we're talking about is like, all right, automating tasks on your computer, right? Like you tell it to do this thing and it automates it and does it for you. Or people that just don't know computers, they can talk to the computer. But I know there's millions of other way impactful concepts that we're not even considering.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'll be the first one to say that, this is so new that I'm still wrapping my head around it. And I know, like, looking at some of the older information is that previously it was hard, as you mentioned, like, sending images back and forth. That was very compute intensive. But with these new way of doing computer APIs, it can, the whole computation has gone down by 10, divide by 10, right? And therefore each local computer can do these very fast. Or else previously you would need like a supercomputer in the back end doing things for you. So that has empowered each and every computer in anybody's house to do these things on their own. And I'm yet to think about really good applications for it, but I know what I'm doing from my side is at least making my team aware that, hey, these things are coming. We need to be at least understanding what is happening so that we are not caught off guard. The worst thing I would say an incumbent company can do is not be aware of what is happening.
And so when we're talking about, so the comment I made of like you can't do it on your, you can do it on your, like, so I have a laptop, I have a gaming laptop, and I actually just ordered some RAM today for my laptop. It was like $150, right? So like I can run all this stuff on my laptop, but I have a GPU, like I bought the laptop to do this type of stuff, which it's only like $1,000, right? It's not like a super intense laptop, but like just your regular home version laptop that you didn't think like, oh, like I'm probably gonna be doing some stuff with, it can't do that. But like if you like know like, hey, like I'm probably gonna be doing some stuff, you buy $1,000-$1,500 laptop, it can run all this stuff for free on your laptop, right? So it's not like it's like crazy money to do it. It's just you got to buy the right computer or laptop to do it. But the whole point is this is accessible to all of us. And it's Open Interpreter is just giving us the tools to innovate. Like that is the key. Is these things are not. It's not even necessarily like. The value of it is what it is. It's the value is what people can do with it. And we're not even thinking of what people can do with it yet. And that's where it's like the innovation is really going to come in.
Exactly. Yeah. Coming like back to the same point, right? That the ideas now take precedence over the execution. Before it was like, hey, hundreds of people have thousands of ideas, but it's about who executes it. Now it's about like execution has become relatively easier. Now, which idea is the best? And whoever comes at first and executes it, take the whole cake.
Man, it's a crazy world out here.
I mean, I'm just like starting with this podcast, man. Like, just right after starting, so many things have changed that I'm like, my God, we have so much content to talk about. And still wrapping my head around it. It's like flying a plane while building it. And also trying to fix issues while it's happening.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Binary Views Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about open... Oh, fucking motherfucker. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Binary Views Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to Binary Views Podcast.